great. It's not a bot lane that we would see consistently dominate in the 2v2, so being able to force out some summoners is great.
Yeah, being able to trade like just an Ignite for both of the support summoners on the side of Suning, you're going to take that trade every single time, especially when your Pantheon is about to hit level 6 and your team is entirely designed around diving that bot lane.
Yeah, and Teachama actually going to be able to push the wave now, so it does hit 6, and actually going to go for the recall because his bot lane still isn't back in lane. Maybe they could have tried to set up a window if they were already there, but still, this is now the time where we expect to finally start seeing some action.
Yeah, this is the point in the game where WE start to kick things off usually. The first dragon is available, and quite often what we will see... Oh, the trade's now starting to go the way of Morgan has been. Really didn't manage to get much off there. But we're expecting now that WE will pick up the pace.
What I want to see now is we see Angel backing, so Teachama going to get to lane, push out this wave. With Bin so far overextended, you could see WE actually make a play towards the top side if Bin decides to TP back.
So we've mentioned how both of these compositions are going to do well at this stage in the game. The level 6 spikes are massive on both sides of the board. But talk to me a little bit about the differentiation between these two compositions if they do spike at similar times.
For me, Suning do have more immediate burst with the bullet time coming out from the Misfortune, as well as Angel with the Syndra ultimate, as well as just we know Renekton's a much stronger early game champion than the Ornn. So WE typically would want to create a pick with the combination of Echo plus Pantheon and then try to create some kind of numbers advantage fight. If we do get a straight up early game 4v4 or 5v5, I would expect Suning to win out.
So it's more of a skirmish for WE, full-on team fight from the side of Suning.
Exactly.
We'll see if Suning are going to be able to orchestrate that. But that is one of those things that when it comes to the LPL, quite often the team fights aren't that tidy.
True, and to be fair for WE, their comp will scale up into a very strong, full-on 5v5 threat once Beishang does get some items. Jomung, you know, gets that 2-3 item spike for the Aphelios as well. But early on, again, it's all about Teachama and Beishang.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning as well, Jomung so far in the bottom lane, building himself up a pretty significant CS advantage, almost towards 20 CS there. The only other significant advantage on the map is SOFM, who has had his run of the mill when it comes to the jungle, gets away with trying to steal some stuff away. Does get spotted and Beishang can start to clear. And Beishang has done a decent job of actually kind of catching up to the situation, considering how badly the first couple of levels went. It's not too far behind.
And I don't think WE feels too bad if this game does go a bit slower paced. You have the Aphelios, you have the Echo. For Suning, we want to see them go for this Rift Herald. You already have the winning top side, so you don't even necessarily need to rotate your bot lane over. You could try to find a window to bring Sword Art over, but that's pretty dangerous when you are up against a Leona with an immobile AD carry. So just abuse Bin's pressure, which he clearly has a lot of.
Speaking of which, he just got 2 turret plates by himself with no outside influence. So Bin is feeling pretty good on this Renekton so far.
Like you said, Bin's been looking better and better. He's had more time to integrate into this roster. It is an expected winning matchup, and Morgan's not going for the lane build like we saw out of New yesterday, where you do go for the Bramble Vest, so is being more team-oriented, and he's not that far behind in CS.
I mean, that's exactly what you expect out of Morgan. Like, I don't think I've ever seen him go for the lane-orientated build. He's almost always going for these teamfight styles when it comes to his items and when it comes to the way that he plays the game. But when you're on Ornn especially, there's not that much to gain in this game because you know your jungler isn't coming anywhere near you.
Right now, I really just want to see SOFM head straight towards that top lane, just go through top lane with the top lane pressure, go straight to Herald. And if you're WE, this is where you start trying to burn maybe that cleanse from Angel and then try to turn there yourselves. But actually, Beishang's going to be the one to start Herald.
Yeah, he's just going to start this one off.
Hello.
As well, reading the back timings right here, because they saw that Angel has left the base. They saw SOFM. I don't know if they saw SOFM recall, but maybe had the timings down. Because there's nobody here to answer from Suning.
No, and Suning aren't even going to be able to answer that much in the bottom side. Jomung not even really losing out on any waves. Sure, maybe Suning's bot lane can get one plate, but W's bot lane's already back. So WE lost nothing, just a net gain.
Yeah, when you consider that the Herald is inevitably going to get a couple of plates at least, and maybe they can find a fight onto Bin here. Flashes over the wall, goes straight on towards Beishang, but he's going to get slowed on down here with the Z-Drive, gets stunned up by Teachama, who flew across the map. Gets over the wall, there's a flash to follow it up though, and Teachama with first blood.
Yeah, WE using that pressure from mid, just saying, hey, actually giving up a wave, which isn't too big of a deal since you do pick up the kill, and you're probably going to guarantee first turret right now since Bin doesn't even have TP up. I like that WE moved their bot lane as well, so they weren't under any threat of getting dove, and Suning have just done nothing so far.
Oh no, Sword Art! No! Oh, it does a full yellow star underneath the tower. In the meantime, his map is falling apart on the top side.
And again,
Sword
Suning
Art
needed to be the team forcing these early skirmishes, and we didn't see them use their topside pressure. We didn't see them look mid despite Teacher Ma having no flash. I guess Angel was constantly pushing him in, so they were more trying to play around the enemy jungle, but this is exactly what you're talking about from the other day, where Suning didn't necessarily play a proactive game against LNG. They just kind of benefited from LNG's passivity.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing proactive about that game from either side. They kind of just handshook the early game for 20-odd minutes, and then 1 or 2 team fights decided everything. Suning maybe still can play that strategy. Bear in mind, they've got the Syndra, they've got the Misfortune. When you consider the ability to just annihilate a whole team with those ultimates with a Jarvan to set it up as well, that's still very possible to happen when we come to these Dragon fights.
We just saw Beishang buy a Hextech Revolver, sell it immediately and upgrade boots. I like that choice. Also, control wards in most of WE's inventory, so going to be setting up for that next dragon.
So significant lead in this bottom lane in favor of Jomung. Teacher Ma getting himself a kill, but he's 20 CS down, which is a bit of an issue, but it's not going to be the end of the world for them. And I think that is, when you look at the CS numbers, this is classic WE, right? Sacrificing your solo lanes in order to set up your AD camp.
And especially in this composition, you feel fine doing this. Even if Teacher Ma becomes a bit of an afterthought in terms of damage, if you can be that diving buddy in there with Beishang, provide some CC with his lockdown, give Jomung room to play, that's all you need to do.
Honestly, half of the strength of picking Pantheon is to run distraction, right? You're so hard to kill during the fights. You deal a lot of damage if you're ignored, so they can't just ignore you. They can't kill you with the Aegis.
You provide some decent peel for your AD carry as well, and again, they're playing this comp so well. Just Beishang.
Thought Bin was going to check into that one then. He's going to be able to just steal away the Krugs. And Bin is actually feeling the pressure here. I wasn't expecting Beishang to be playing around topside like this.
And I would expect Beishang to just kind of shadow, make sure Teacher Ma can get the pressure, and then you move down together. Teacher Ma can always threaten with that ultimate. It does seem like they overcommitted a bit too much because they probably should have been able to take this dragon.
Angel's going to be in trouble here, though. They've got the parallel convergence. Doesn't quite get the stun. That means they're not going to go for this one. They're on Sword Art instead. The CC chain is absurd. And Jomung blasts him with the ult.
And that's the exact play we want to see, Munchables. A bit late. It would have been nice if they didn't give over the dragon to Suning, but still, you pick up what you want.
Huanfeng just used his bullet time to clear away the wave. Dragon already went down in favor of Suning, so WE a little bit late on the play, but ultimately they get a kill.
Suning do have the win condition, though, right, of trying to get that very early soul. It is going to be an Infernal Soul, so despite the fact that they do get a bit outscaled by W's composition, you have an Infernal Soul with champions like Misfortune and Syndra. You would just have so much burst.
Absolutely. I think one of the exciting things this game, I was going to say it before that fight, is it was either an Infernal Soul or an Ocean Soul. Both of them are a big deal. So it means that when it comes towards these next dragons spawning, we are going to see these teams contesting, especially if Suning gets to Soul Point.
For Suning, though, even with Infernal Soul, or if we look at something like in late game Ornn, a late game Echo, a late game Leona, it's still going to be really hard to burst.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, the Pantheon in the mid lane, the Echo in the jungle, they're really hard to kill. Both of them have invincibility buttons, basically. So even with an Ocean Soul, that can become difficult. It's going to be really important on the target selection from Angel during these fights.
Ooh, and these are the plays that we know Morgan for, constantly hovering around the mid lane, just waiting for that time to find the perfect call of the Forge God.
You have to commend Angel this game, honestly. His positioning has been excellent, and his respect for the way that WE plays has been great. Every single time they've tried to move towards the mid lane, Angel's completely safe, staying under his tower, clearing away the waves.
Angel's been doing his job. The problem with Suning is we haven't really seen, again, really anything. I haven't seen any action when they do have the Renekton that's going to fall off quite hard. Jarvan in the late game, you're pretty much just a CC bot. You're going to become an afterthought.
Beishang and Bin currently just arguing over the Krugs, agreeing you get that half and I'll get this half. But it was Beishang that got the big Krug, and that's what counts. And importantly, Beishang's ahead on CS now over SOFM. after how awful the start was, it's kind of impressive.
Yeah, again, to be fair, once you start picking up these items as Echo, you're such a strong dueling champion, and soon we're going to have that next Rift Herald come up, and you would just expect that WE can probably just take it for free, but we want to see Suning start challenging.
Oh, they're on to... Oh, no, he failed the flash and... He failed the flag and drag. Beisha gets the kill. Had to flash and still goes down.
Well, now they're going to get this next Rift Herald 100% for free.
Yeah.
And now Suning going to have no targets they can attack on the map.
This is where things start to become difficult for Suning, because now we're getting to the point where the Ludens and the boots are through there for Syndra. You've got the Essence Reaver on Misfortune. We need to start to see those items have an impact, because later on in the game, it takes a while before you can really, really have an impact unless they play into.
And the problem, too, is since we do have a Syndra against the Pantheon.
Oh, Morgan could be in trouble here. Flashes the death sentence. We'll be okay. And that just means that bot lane tower will go the way of Suning. That's the second tower of the game.
Yep, so Suning finally going to pick one up, but still WE feel great with this and just constantly attacking this top side.
And Beishang might have bitten off more than he can chew on this one. Actually going to immediately chrono break on the spot and somehow isn't punished. Interesting.
I guess Suning just feel unsafe trying to target him out because you look at Suning's vision, it's actually all around the bottom half of the map.
Fair enough.
And like you said, just fails his flag and drag. Okay, you flash over, but everyone from WE's there.
They have abilities to get over walls. They're not worried about chasing that one. That is just, I don't know. I think what he's done is he's done the whole thing where you drop it and you queue too quickly and it's not quite, just doesn't feel good. So unfortunate there for SOFM, but across the map, even though WE are building a lead for themselves, it's not too bad right now for Suning. Suning still very much have win conditions available.
The problem is I feel WE still dictate the options that are going to happen. Like right now, you just send Pantheon top, you have Beishang hover, let Pantheon push out one wave, you both move mid, you can drop Herald, take mid turret, and try to guarantee that dragon. To where Suning just have to wait. They have to answer that play.
Is there anything they can do proactively to try and preempt that, try and stop that from happening? Like, how do you set up to deny that play?
Realistically, all they could have done is just have Bin give up a wave early, move mid or bot first, and try to create a pick before that happens.
10 seconds until the Drake, and SOFM forced away here. Herald goes down mid, and this will be the tower for the side of WE. You can see the tower's already down to half. The minions will finish it off. Now over towards this dragon that has just spawned. SOFM is healthy, though.
Textbook League of Legends, Munchables. Pans out exactly.
You're the prophet. You're a prophet, Lyric. Here we go. Teleport, though, from Bin. He's moving down towards the bottom side of the map. I think he's going to be too late, though. SOFM trying to get in. They're going to engage straight onto him and take him down. Kill over to Leona. Dragon goes the way of WE, and Huanfeng just desperately trying to do anything. Sword Art now the target. Bin has finally arrived, but it's too late. He's in, but it's, I mean, there's nothing you can do about this one. Angel's going to fall, and Bin just has to pick up the pieces, gets one onto missing, but now they're going to chase him down. One more auto, and Jomung is massive.
Yeah, and this game's actually going by quite fast because you can't just do nothing in the face of WE. WE are going to keep pushing the pace, they're going to take the objectives, and they're going to create the fights.
This is why I love watching WE, because as soon as they have the opportunity, they will force the issue and they will punish you if you misstep.
And again, the worst part is for Suning is that this is textbook WE. When WE picks their champions, you know exactly how they're going to play the game because they've done it hundreds of times before. And just great team fight coming out. We saw a good ultimate coming out from Morgan, missing going in, and you see the protective wall around Jomung, so he's just able to dish out all this damage for free. Teacher Mach cutting off the escape route from Angel, so Suning just really not able to go anywhere, and Jomung given free reign.
I mean, Jomung also had Severum and Infernum both at full ammunition at the start of that fight, which is literally the dream for a clustered team fight when you're playing that Aphelios. So Jomung living in a beautiful world right now. 3-0-3, 220 CS. He's got his Hurricane. He's got his IE. It doesn't feel any better than that at 20 minutes for Aphelios.
Looking over to the side of Suning.
Oh my goodness. So now,
this
Beishang is doing to SOFM what SOFM did to Beishang earlier on in the game.
Oh, and Bin's lifting a pretty tough place.
Would you say he's heading back towards the trash? Is
he's
that where
heading
we're
back
going
towards
with
the
this
bin.
one? Oh no, Bin. There's nowhere to run. He is inevitably going to go down. Goes for the Dominus. He'll try and do some damage, but ultimately, even if you get onto base shot, Chrono Break exists.
Yeah, and okay, you lost some waves topside, but it actually doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. WE are still the ones kind of dictating the pace of the game, putting down map pressure. They're going to pick up another objective on the bottom half of the map.
I'm excited to see the gold chart after this game because it was like something like 17, 18 minutes. Suddenly, WE are just slingshotted so far ahead. They were so even for the majority of this game. Now they're 5K ahead.
The game is not 100% over.
No.
Suning can rely on WE making a mistake, maybe create some kind of cheesy pick. You do still have the Syndra and the Thresh, but it's going to be really hard, especially once you add in all the global pressure that WE has, because you not only have a Pantheon ultimate, you also have double TP against only a single TP from Suning, so you can just constantly pull Suning across the map, create numbers advantage, and take the objective.
And I do feel like as well, if you can get them clustered, if you can get a big old Jarvan ultimate with a bullet time, with Syndra, scatter the weak across them all as well, Renekton jumping in, that's a scary combination. This is also a scary combination though, and this is not the clustered fight I was talking about. Another pick onto Sword Art, and another advantage for WE.
WE just finding picks pretty much every minute while Suning doing nothing. And we're not saying it's impossible for Suning. We're just saying they need to pray to the universe or something that WE just kind of gives up.
They need a greater power to intervene at this point. But so far, the greater power has been the Starfall from Teacherma. He sees you out of position. He doesn't care where his team is. He's going to go in. Another one comes down. SOFM actually gets away, but the Ignite is there. No, it's not. It fell off. He survives. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The Baron with a WE.
You were kind of building that up like it would lead to something, but...
Well, Bin has actually done a lot of damage that takes out Beisheng. That's one kill for himself. It's going to be a 1-for-1 in the end. Which ultimately, when WE has Baron, I think you take that.
Maybe the greater power's coming. Maybe it keeps going.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not going to keep going. But
it's not really a way for them to follow up.
No. The sad thing is again, from the side of Suning, we saw great punishment coming out from SOFM, just not letting Beisheng play the game early on, but you never translated that into anything. Sure, you took the first dragon for free, but you didn't go to the first Rift Herald like we would have expected with the winning topside matchup. You never opted into any skirmishes. The game just passed them by.
I'm kind of surprised as well at how this top lane has ended up going, because Bin right now 2-4 in the top lane. Morgan obviously feeling fantastic, but it started off with Bin doing so much work in that top lane. The Renekton was looking fantastic. And then, kind of uncharacteristically, Beisheng just hard camped that top lane. We never saw Morgan versus Bin, because we saw Morgan plus Beisheng versus Bin.
When we set this up earlier on, that we saw WE's bot lane just kind of naturally winning. There aren't a lot of options down towards that lane, and Bin was constantly overextended. You have the setup there from the Ornn ultimate, so it's just pretty much free reign for WE if Suning aren't going to do anything.
And we're getting to a scary point here where this will be a second Infernal Drake going the way of WE. If they end up getting an Infernal Soul, if the game lasts long enough for that, that's a 4 Infernal Drake Infernal Soul. That is terrifying. If they didn't scale enough already, like Teacherma, there's no amount of armor you can build to stop him one-shotting at that point.
No, I'm not looking at Teacherma. I'm going to look at this Ornn. We've seen the damage that Ornn can do, and he's already unkillable, so give him 4 souls and 4 dragons, not 4 souls.
Call of the Forge God alone just kills the entire team. I'm ready to watch it. I'm excited. I don't think we're going to see that many dragons, though.
And Echo now is at his pretty much strongest point. You have your jungle item, you have the Proto Belt and the Lichbane, so Beisheng feeling great.
The whole of WE feeling great right now. Jomung especially. I've been there. I've been that AD carry that's fed all the way to the back teeth. They've got the last whisper there. There's no way you ever get onto Jomung here.
What?
Hang on. Teacherma quite happily go for this 1v1 because Morgan's on his way as well. Bin in a bit of a tricky situation. Has his flash. The rest of his team, though, in the meantime, trying to make something else happen on the map. Morgan gets the over-the-wall flash from Bin. Teacherma's actually pretty low on this one, and Bin's found himself a kill. 2v1. Oh, can he get the teleport off? He's going to do it. Oh, Jomung gets the kill by the skin of his teeth.
Okay, he might have gone down, but still, that was pretty beautiful coming out from Bin. The game looks pretty dicey, but nice to find those confidence plays when you can.
And look, that's opened up the map for them to get at least one turret in the mid lane. They are going to have to trade it, though. This is still very much going to go in favor of WE. But hey, props to Bin.
I'm just saying, we're getting so excited over this one little small play that doesn't surmount to anything because, again, it's something. We haven't seen much from Suning this game, so we'll take anything at this point.
And also, I was excited to see Bin this game. I was excited to see Bin versus Morgan. We didn't see that. We saw Bin versus Teacher and he won it out.
Yeah, and we've kind of seen WE versus Suning, but maybe not the WE versus...
What else have we seen? That is exactly what we're seeing.
I don't...
Look at the top of the screen. WE Suning.
You've seen Suning?
Well, I've seen the one. That's Huanfeng. Do you see him with the red buff on him? Oh, dear. Well, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. They haven't been particularly proactive. SOFM wasn't the early game.
And at this point in the game, there really isn't much options that their composition has to play around, right? They have a Renekton, so... I mean, sure, he did find that 1v1 kill, but still not really scaling into too much of a damage threat. Jarvan, we even look at his build, is much more of a defensive utility champion at this point.
Sichima wants a bit of revenge here. He's going to chase Bin down, and Bin knows there's nothing to do. The Lantern, though, from Sword Art keeps him safe, pulls him away.
At this point for WE, you just play through 2 lanes. You already have the inhibitor in top side. You can have Teacherma. It doesn't even matter which setup you go for necessarily. You can have Teacherma and Beishong hovering mid or bot and just go for the other. I do like that they're playing more around bot.
Feels like Jomung has permanent Infernum. I feel like I've never seen him without Infernum this game. Look at the damage he does to the tower. Already half of the tower's health gone. This is without Baron, by the way. They just walk up with 1 minion wave, and that's the damage they can do.
And going back to saying I like them playing around bot, it's because if they can open up that bot lane turret, it just puts even more pressure on Suning if WE go for a Baron play.
We are getting to the point, though, where Suning have to make something happen. As Bin moves back over towards the team here, we could see a potentially final fight of the game, unless Suning can make something magical.
This is where you go for the 10% play where you just all try and jump on Jomung and hope you all don't die, but that's also why it's the 10% play.
Yeah, you got to look for the combo, right? You got to try and line these ultimates up. It's what we were talking about earlier on in the game. And especially Angel, once again, I said it right at the start of the day. In spring, he was one of the real factors. Here in summer, he's been quiet both series so far.
And right, this game, he did his job early on in a sense. He won out the matchup after that level 1, which you should expect him to do, but it's funny because we're just not seeing the pieces come together for Suning. At least not now. We didn't see the pieces come together in the early game when their composition was strong.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a ton of pieces to come together at this stage, it feels like, especially when you look at the gold lead. But now, here's the opportunity. SOFM trying to make his way in. He's going to look for a way onto Missing here. Gets hooked up. Eclipse, though, Missing is real tanky. And with the ultimates coming on through, Bin just can't do anything. Actually stays alive, and now he's on to Teacherma as well. Knock up from Morgan. Bullet time over 3 of them, and Teacherma falls. Maybe this is the fight. Maybe Suning have found it. In with the Cataclysm. Huanfeng's here. Morgan's going to fall as well. And Suning, the Baron is still alive. Missing has nothing. Jomung's nearly dead.
Munchables, the higher power is showing up. Suning pretty much getting the fight they wanted, which is really weird because WE did peel off the Baron altogether, but they didn't all commit to the fight. All coming in at different angles gave Suning the room to work with.
He's got to sever him here. Jomung could make this happen alongside Beishong. Chrono Break still available. 4,000 on the Baron. Stun comes through. Angel shows up. That's exactly what I was asking for. Now 2K on the Baron. In goes Beishong, but it's taken by SOFM. Kill onto the Echo. And suddenly, Suning looking great. SOFM stopped from recalling here. No! Huanfeng! He stole the lantern away from SOFM. I think he could have finished his recall. He still had his flash.
Yeah, Huanfeng, a bit of a mistake there. But hey, he's an 80 carry, that's what happens. And this is great for Suning. They pick up a bunch of kills, they get the gold lead a bit smaller, they have the Baron, but WE are still going to get this next Infernal Drake, are going to be 1 dragon away from Soul, and still have the superior scaling.
I'm going to have to eat my words here, because I said there was not going to be that many more dragons, but with a fight like that for Suning, maybe the game goes on, and maybe WE need these drakes.
Yes, they do, but in terms of if a straight-up team fight should break out, I would still favor WE. But again, that situation shows us, right? This isn't perfect League of Legends played by robots. There's going to be mistakes, there's going to be skirmishes, some messy fights, and Suning still has a way to come out ahead.
And it's important to mention that WE sometimes play a little bit fast and loose, and quite often we've seen Teachamar going a little bit too deep with this Pantheon, and the team isn't there to follow up. During that fight, we saw them, they all committed to the fight, just at different times and in different ways. It was all a little bit disjointed.
I wish we can see a replay for the fact that they did all get off the Baron, right?
Yeah.
They all committed to the fight. It just wasn't all together. It was just all over the place and a bit scattered. And it's surprising they weren't able to kill Bin when he was on like 2% HP for so long.
I thought that they were going to finish him off there, but did manage to survive the fight somehow. And, you know, Bin really was the factor there, because with the Dominus available with him, now he's finished Death Stance as well. He's going to get even tankier. He's going to be even more difficult to deal with. He's getting ready to teleport.
Yep, he's looking for a TP. They had a chance.
Oh, no, what a pick. Huanfeng goes down. And the TP's not going to save you now in onto Sword Art. Nice play from him, but the box cannot get you out of this one. Double kill for Jomung. Oh, and after that miracle fight, it's all gone wrong for Suning. Just a slight misposition, and it's all over.
They had a small window where Teachamar was showing top, didn't have his TP up. They could have tried to force something, but Jomung and Morgan doing great to find that pick, and especially Jomung because he's a player you look at and still think, okay, he's had great moments, but is he going to become one of these greats? And if he could have good performances, right, you can't look down on him anymore.
This is a great performance. 9-0-4. Just got himself a triple kill during that last fight. And now, this is the victory lap for WE. Still a couple of death timers on the go. SOFM goes in. He knows that this is all but done. They don't care about SOFM. They're straight on towards the Nexus. This could have been a mistake. Respawns are coming on through, but the Nexus is so low. They are going to finish it off in the end. WE take game 1.
WE just doing exactly what we've known them for. They've played out this composition many times before. A lot of signature champions across the board, not only the Echo and Pantheon, but also Morgan, of course, on his Ornn. So WE just playing standard WE League of Legends and looking great.
Yeah, and obviously there was one kind of shaky fight there, but